Hello, everybody. I'm Larry Ridley. You're tuned into the NFL on EA Sports.
We've got a good one on tap today, and there's going to be two quarterbacks ready to get it done on the gridiron. It's Stafford's Lions going up against Bradford's Vikings.
With that, we'll send you up to Minneapolis with our broadcasters, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Okay, Larry, thank you. We are indeed at the beautiful state-of-the-art U.S. Bank Stadium in Minneapolis. Today, we've got a good NFC matchup on tap between the Detroit Lions and the Minnesota Vikings. First carry for Amir Abdullah. And this defense feeling the encouragement. They stop him at the line of scrimmage on the first play of the afternoon. Terrence Newman making the tackle. All right, let's get a peek at these starters here in the Golden Child, Golden Tate.
Love his versatility because you can use him anywhere in your offense. And he's an excellent kick returner. Loves to play the game, plays with passion.
Now Stafford, complete here to the right to Bolden. The reception good for 7. It's third down.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target, and he's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
Just a 30-yard punt that time. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Now the first carry for Adrian Peterson. It's a gain of 14 there.
Brandon, I know you play the fantasy football game, and Adrian Peterson has to be a popular pick for owners. But this year, a tough season for him. A knee injury early limited him to 72 yards total for the season.
Yeah, early indeed. Week 2 on that knee injury. So 72 yards, as you said, for the year. Came back, admirable, hoping to get him into the playoffs, but didn't look like he was ready to return.
One guy I never count out, though, is Adrian Peterson. I expect a monster return in 2017.
And here's the offense today that hopes to get off to a strong start.
Here we go now. Green, 90. Green, 90.
On second down, Bradford again. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. The reception good for 7. It's third down.
When you execute a drag or a crossing route really well and give them a chance to let it develop a little bit, you can gain some significant yardage hitting your tight end on that one.
Let's see if they can convert here on 3rd and 3.
Ace, ace. Check 13. Ready. Green, 39.
3rd and short yardage, Bradford. And he's got Kyle Rudolph. And he picks up the first down yardage as he takes it down to the 16. He goes for 18 there as the drive will continue.
There are so many things to watch for when you play defense. And reading your keys, you always hear about that, and having your eyes in the right place. Sometimes your eyes can fool you. How about that play action there? That sprang the big guy, didn't it?
Able to dump it over the top to him. Quick hitter here, it's complete. The completion good for 3, and it's second down. And now the Lions' defensive starters.
As Darius Slay continues to improve at the quarterback position, he may live up to his own nickname as the Slaymaker.
On second down, Peterson. And this play gets blown up. They'll lose yardage. Back at the 17. He lost 4 there, and it's third down.
One thing I know, defensive coaches love it when they don't have to invite their players to the party. This strong safety, you never have to ask him twice to help in run support. He's going to arrive and in a bad mood.
On third down, Bradford. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
Putting pressure on the guy throwing the football is always good, but when you can couple that with contact on him that leads to an incompletion, as we just saw there, that's winning football.
And Forbath will put this one through, and the Vikings have a 3-0 lead. So the folks here in the stands this afternoon, they're happy about that one. Their guys get the early advantage after the opening drive field goal.
And they should be happy. Their guys look good getting down the field, and that's got to give them hope. The good things are in store here today.
And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. And ready to go for another offensive series. Out comes Detroit, and a Detroit team that, boy, lost in the playoffs this year. Don't have a playoff win since 1992. But it was a tough end of the season. There were injuries involved. And I know you think that this is a crew that really can make some noise again next year, don't you?
I do, because I think they gained so much confidence this season, battling back from a tough beginning, working their way into where they looked like they had a chance to win the division. And while they didn't do that, they did get into the playoffs. Despite a myriad of injuries, they think this team has a bright future, and they feel confident about 2017.
That catch good for 5. It's third down.
But that's what you're looking for when you want to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered, can uncover themselves downfield and create catches.
From the gun on third down, Stafford. Over the middle, complete to Tate. And Tate just finished his 7th NFL season. First 4 in Seattle, last 3 Detroit. And each of those 3 years, 90 or more receptions. Finished this season with 91 catches, over 1,000 yards.
And I saw him expand his game in 2016. I saw him operate out wide in the slot. Also came into the backfield and got carries and then ran routes from there. His yards after catch really jumped back up in 2016. And Golden Tate has shown that he's more than capable of being a #1 receiver in the NFL.
Amir Abdullah. Touchdown, Detroit. Amir Abdullah, 67 yards. And the Lions are going to take a first-quarter lead. And on that long run, maybe the defense caught napping a little bit.
The concentration level may not have been there. I agree with you on that one, because those types of plays, when they result like that, they're almost like big bolts of lightning, aren't they? Whoosh, and off he goes.
So after the touchdown, Martin now on to kick this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. You know, for this Vikings team, as they come back out here on offense, I don't know that any group had more of a roller coaster ride than them in the 2016 season. The quarterback change at the beginning, the hot start, and then the cold middle. It was just a tough year for them, wasn't it?
It really was, and when you look at how their season went, you mentioned the roller coaster. A lot of it can come back to the injuries, especially along the offensive line. I think by around October, maybe even early November, I'm surprised you and I didn't get a call to go audition to be a left tackle there, because they were just down so many guys. So that made it difficult to run the ball and to protect Sam Bradford, their quarterback, and it reflected in their final record.
Throwing, Bradford, wide open receiver, complete. And he's brought down, but not before getting across midfield to the 45.
Now that play will end up on the highlights, and you'll see it all over the place. But what you won't see, the offensive line that bought the extra time, that allowed for the big completion downfield, those guys made that play possible.
First down, here's a run with Peterson. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46.
That play definitely goes down as a win for the defense, as they were able to get there and tackle him for a loss. But you just got the sense that the runner kept looking for a space to turn upfield, and he kept getting strung out towards the sidelines before the defense finally finished him off.
And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down.
It looked like they had something there, but I think that he was thinking about running with the football before he actually hauled it in, and that led to a big drop.
They go play action. Now Bradford. And complete. Right side to tight end Rudolph. 18 yards there and a first down. Back now with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Second quarter begins with the Vikings holding the football. And they're on the move here. They've got it 1st and 10. Peterson alone in the backfield. Now a play fake here on first down. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. Adam Thielen, 28 yards. And the Vikings are going to retake the lead. And he's got it as the lead is now 10-6. Forbath to send it away now following the touchdown. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. So here come the Lions now. Last time they were out, they scored. Still trailing here, though, so some work to do.
But it's okay in terms of mindset. Because they scored the last time, they're not quite as worried about being down on the scoreboard because now they're...
Oh, a hit. He lost the football. Stafford puts it on the ground. And the Vikings pick up the football. And now he's got him at a great spot at the 8-yard line here, first and goal. And the Vikings now heading onto the field. Good drive last time. Really effective passing the football. Do you maybe mix it up, now go to the ground game and surprise the defense a little bit?
I would anticipate the defense making some changes, but I wouldn't necessarily just absolutely go in the opposite direction. They're doing so well throwing the ball.
Yeah, why
I wouldn't change it up until they showed me a reason to do so. All right, partner, despite my eating habits, I'm not big enough to play offensive tackle, nor am I quick enough. But with the defensive ends nowadays and their speed, those guys have to be able to punch and dance, and it's a tough, tough job to contain them.
Bradford now, and he fires one that's intercepted. It's the 2014 NFL interception leader, Glover Quinn. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Very tough spot here for the offense to start. After the interception, here's Stafford. And that's off the mark, incomplete. Golden Tate, his intended receiver. And that'll bring up second down.
It's a tried-and-true formula, and I don't think it'll change for as long as we play football. If someone's trying to throw the ball, and you can put pressure on them and make it tough, that's only going to help your defense.
Yeah, he's since being hurried. In trouble, and the ball's out. It's in the end zone loose. Oh, and this is going to wind up a safety. So troubles here offensively. I tell you, the noise in this dome, that has got to make it harder for these guys to hear.
Sometimes I find myself shouting up here. But you're right. If you can't communicate well or get off the snap count properly, it can cause big problems, and this qualifies as a big problem. Now, that's the kind of return you're looking for. To get to that spot on the field, that allows you to do a lot of things on offense.
The Vikings offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. And the interception thrown in the red zone last time. We'll see if they can rebound.
I just have to think the last thing he said as they went back out there was, don't do that again. What do you think?
What do you think?
Yeah, I think that. I think that not only did he say that, but he also told him, let's put it in the end zone that it's supposed to be in, all right? The end zone we're trying to score. I know we're being a little bit facetious here, but the bottom line is take care of the football, and everything else should flow from there.
Quick lesson, never ask the play-by-play guy a question.
Hey, you're my partner. I know you're right there with me.
It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up second down.
Ezekiel Ziggy Ansah with a tackle for loss. Just think he's still learning the game of football. Didn't play a heck of a lot of it in his native country. And at BYU, was just scratching the surface before he hit the NFL.
Yeah, from Ghana, where he really liked soccer and basketball, but football's okay for him, right?
Yeah, I think it's worked out very well. Drafted on potential, he's realizing it here.
3rd down and 12.
Well, I think we know by now that every run is not going to be broken and get all the way to the end zone. But these short ones still have their value. You can still set up your play action and throw the football. You control the clock because you have the ball and they don't. And often the physicality sets the tempo for the game. I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
Now Bradford. That is caught inside the 5. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Adam Thielen with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half. And the Vikings find a way to stretch their lead. Horvath to send it away now following the touchdown. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. And Detroit getting set to go now. And the last time they had the football, they surrendered 2 points on the safety. They don't want to do that one again.
No, not at all. It's almost like a bases clearing double, isn't it? Give up a couple of runs.
Sure.
just messes things up for you offensively. But now they've got to go ahead, take it, set it aside, and move forward.
A gain of 6 there on first.
Partner, it's a lot of fun watching the NFL now, isn't it? Because when the big fella runs routes, it used to be when we were kids, he'd run about 3 different routes, and that was it. Now he can run anything and catch the ball, as we just saw there.
It's brought in left side by Tate. It goes as a gain of 8, and it moves the chains. And a nice pitch and catch to pick up the reception against man coverage.
Both of them read how much yardage they needed, figured what they had to do, and were able to beat the man coverage for the completion.
Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down.
And that's exactly what you want on a first down run. Pick up 5 yards, bring up 2nd and 5. The defensive line, though, they've got to figure out a way to out-leverage the guys up front because the offensive line is winning at the point of attack.
Here's Stafford. And they're not able to hook up there. Incomplete. He was trying to find Marvin Jones that time. And now it's third down.
There are a good number of coaches at any time they call an in route are really worried about the play because there's so much traffic ordinarily that the ball has to get through to get to the receiver. And on that play, it was batted down.
Complete here to the right to Bolden. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down.
They didn't get the first down, but I have to say I do like the call. I like what they were trying to do. Try and hit your receiver on the run and see if he can pick it up. Keep it on his feet, get a little rack yardage.
Yeah, but a nice job defensively to get to him and keep him short of the first. And how about the call here? They need 2 yards in their own territory on 4th down, and they're going to go for it. They're going to run it with Abdullah. And he has the first down yardage before they bring him down right at the 45.
You know what? Now and then it pays to take chances in this league. You can't play everything by the book. You're on your own side of the 50, but all you need is a few short yards. And they're able to convert to keep the drive going.
On first down, Stafford here. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
The good signal callers will never go back in the huddle and play the blame game because they need those guys to protect him. But on that last one, his offensive line, they lost their leverage very quickly, and that's why they were able to get to him and hit him as he tried to throw the football and force an incompletion.
Oh, he'll want that one back. Incomplete. He doesn't drop too many in that department. Third down. Here comes the 8th play of the drive, and they need a full 10 yards on third down. Throwing on third down, Stafford. And Tate's got it. A good pickup there of 20 yards.
I don't care how many times we see it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. First down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
And the offense readies for play number 10 of this series. Back to the air. Stafford on second down. Over the middle, complete to Tate. And he takes this one in for a Lions touchdown. Golden Tate, a 24-yard touchdown. And the Lions able to get this back within a touchdown. Prater on to add the extra point. And oh, it's no good. For the second time now in this first half, he's missed an extra point. Here's Martin now following the score as he'll send this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And a good return. He's across the 35-yard line, right around the 36. Now the Vikings offense works their way back onto the field. And they'll be looking to build off of a nice drive last time, a drive that really relied on the quarterback.
Making good decisions, distributing the ball well, distributing it accurately, keeping it away from danger. A really nicely run drive.
But now the defense, what adjustments do they need to make in the passing game?
Pass rush, pass rush, pass rush. Whether it's the guys up front or maybe you bring additional guys, but you've got to disrupt the timing and then throw in the football.
We'll see if they can disrupt it here. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete. Cordero Patterson, the one he was hoping to get it to. And it'll bring up third down.
Looked like they had an opportunity for a big play across the middle, but he didn't have the concentration or the focus necessary and dropped it before he could haul it in.
A play fake. Bradford. And this is going to be caught. No, they say it's incomplete. Red Allison, the intended receiver. And that'll bring up a fourth down. And a tough ask here. They're going to go for it on fourth down and 9.
Ready, green, 90. Green, green, 39. Green, 39. Ace.
On fourth down, they do snap it. Bradford, he's got his man on the crossing route. 17 yards on the pickup, and they're able to pick up the conversion here on fourth down. I don't know if I agree with that. I guess they don't care if I agree with that. Boy, you have to be surprised by that, right?
I definitely was surprised that they decided to go for it in this situation, but they must have either felt like they either had a great play call on or they're trying to show extreme confidence.
Fresh set of downs here. And with that completion, he's now north of 200 yards here in the first half. Boy, a tough start for the secondary defensively.
It is, and it's got to put a dent in their confidence. And, you know, you always want to keep that up and feel like you can always bounce back after plays. But with the kind of numbers he's putting up here, it's starting to wear on them a little bit, I think. So they're looking at each other and trying to figure out what defense will work and how can they play better without getting beat deep for big passes.
So after that big gain, let's see what else the offense has up its sleeve. Again, it's Bradford looking for Diggs, and it's intercepted. Nevin Lawson with a pick, and his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half. The Lions offense, they get ready to head back onto the field. And you got to think, if this is anything other than just taking a knee, I'd be very surprised.
Yeah, they've got enough to talk about it in the half. Why do anything else? Just get out of there.
Stafford now to throw. Eric Ebron, the big tight end, his intended target. And it's second down. So they just got the football on an interception. They almost gave it right back the same way.
And, you know, when you look over to the bench after that type of a play, number one is pure relief. Didn't give it up. But it's not the coach you're worried about yelling at you. It's those guys on defense who just intercepted the pass who want to break over there. Hey, take care of the football, man.
So we've hit intermission. It's halftime. This is the NFL, and it's a presentation of EA Sports. So both teams have their marching orders, and we'll get going again here in quarter number 3. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. Out come the Vikings. They'll have it first on offense as we begin the third. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had the ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ball game.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
They come up in an offset eye. Now it's AP, Adrian Peterson. And very little daylight there. He'll get a couple up to the 44.
Tough day, tough sledding right there, and it's been that way the entire game. Not a whole lot of room to ramble for him.
Yeah, you're right. It's been that way all afternoon. Didn't get a whole lot better there. Now a second down throw for Bradford. And a quick throw here that's complete. That one good for the completion percentage, but no gain. It'll be third down.
Brandon, just mark that under the category of just not successful. Trying to throw the ball, just didn't work on that one.
Completed it. No yardage. And the Lions going with an extra DB here on third down. To throw is Bradford. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
On any passes in the middle of the field, anyone who's going after the football is going to be conscious that it's probably going to be contested, and often physically. Sometimes that leads to drops.
And that one hits a little too close to the goal line, and it continues into the end zone for a touchback. Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half. They were able to get the stop defensively. Now a chance really to set the tone here in quarter three.
They can really take charge, can't they? And this is probably how it was drawn up at the half. I think we can go inside the locker room, right? And I think we would see up on the grease boards, stop them defensively, get the ball back for the offense, and let's go downfield and score. Seems simple, right? The last part, we have to find out if that's going to happen. But the first part worked to perfection. Did exactly what they wanted, and now their offense has to pay it off.
See if they can get the latter 50%.
The insistence of speed at every position is really seen at the defensive end spot. These guys in the old days were often outside linebackers. They just pushed them forward because they wanted to play fast and get to the quarterback or the running backs quicker than ever before.
And he's able to get it to the 31, and that's enough for the first.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice game.
On second down, here's Stafford. And he fires one incomplete. Amir Abdullah, the intended target. And it's third down. And the Vikings with an extra defender in the secondary on third.
Playing coverage here.
Stafford. Is this intercepted? It is. It's intercepted. Terrence Newman with a pick. And they will set up shop at their own 46-yard line. Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play. Almost not fair. The big guy running the corner route, being able to lean and push and get to where he wants.
So how do you stop it?
A lot of times you want to have a linebacker on him, a bigger body guy who can handle him physically. But a lot of times that doesn't work as well because his quickness often wins the route.
Bradford now to throw on first down. And he's going to be intercepted a third time. Darius Slay with a pick. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. And Detroit getting set to go now. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here.
It's a nice completion, a little bit of run after catch as well to create the yardage that they got. But it is so tough to cover that route, the drag route, because they run it at varying speeds. Because the key is to create hesitancy on the defender's part.
Always so empathetic for those DBs, aren't you? On first down, Abdullah. And he is going to lose yardage here. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down. Well, there they went blitz defensively, Charles, a linebacker position.
I love the way that you described it, paved well. Oftentimes, the guy who gets home on the blitz, he's going to get all the credit. But his teammates did all the dirty work, right? They ran into people on purpose. They sometimes tugged on jerseys to hold linemen to create.
Looking for Jones, and it's intercepted. Xavier Rhodes with a pick. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown.
Now, that was a beautiful play. A pick six. How would you punctuate something like that, partner?
What do you mean, with an exclamation mark?
Exclamation mark, a big word. What would you do with that?
Ampersand?
I like it.
And they're able to up the lead by 1 more. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. And Detroit getting set to go now. After the interception, here's Stafford. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete. A little lull in the action here to go over an offseason storyline that's kind of interesting. L.A. a couple years ago, they have no teams, and now they're going to have 2 with the move from San Diego to L.A. What does that mean for the league and for the Chargers?
It seems like an easier transition, doesn't it, than St. Louis when they moved back to Los Angeles.
Less culture shock.
Less culture shock, less, obviously geography, the whole deal. But it's a transition that still is not going to be easy. Remember, they're going to go play in a soccer stadium, essentially, for at least the first couple of years before they share a stadium with the Rams. So that changes things, obviously trying to create an identity in the market they haven't been in a long time. They began as the Los Angeles Chargers, but only played 1 season as such.
Here's Sherrills. A good return there. Call it 13 yards. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. And now out comes Minnesota. And with 3 interceptions thrown already, we'll see. Do they rely more on the ground game here?
They may have to change things offensively to try and settle things down. Not just for the guy throwing the ball, but for the rest of the offensive unit. Because his confidence has to be shaken a little bit. And you just wonder, is the backup going to start to warm up a little bit over on the sideline?
Second down, Bradford. Dancing to his left. And he'll avoid the tackle there with a slide. It's an 8-yard pickup and leads to a new set of downs.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the 3rd one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
Throwing, Bradford. A hit as he throws there, incomplete. Adrian Peterson was the intended target, and that'll bring up second down. Well, the numbers have been good in the passing game, and certainly a big reason why they have the lead. But now here, 3rd quarter, maybe go to the run game a little more?
Yeah, perhaps. I mean, after that incompletion, a little credit to the defense for shutting them down on that play. Maybe you try and run the football a little bit more in this spot. But they have to feel good about how they've been throwing it overall.
Back now at beautiful new U.S. Bank Stadium. It's the Vikings in possession of the football and the lead. They'll be looking to add to that total as we begin quarter number 4. So just 1 yard to go here on 3rd down. They'll run it. Here's Peterson. And he gets it to the 32. Good enough for a 1st down. A nice pickup there, 10 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
I thought guys that were over 30 weren't supposed to run the football this well in the National Football League. How about that veteran leadership? A big-time run. combined with some nice blocking by his offensive line, showing that the ins and outs of being a veteran still has his place in this league. His odometer is not totally turned over yet.
And he gets stopped up at the 31 after a gain of maybe a yard. Tackle made there by Josh Bynes. See if they stay on the ground for second down. Now Bradford on second down. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And Peterson, what happened? He lost the football. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Here's the Detroit offense now as they head back out onto the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. So 2nd and 10 here. And the D-line pinching together must be expecting the run. Back to the air. Stafford on second down. Surveying the field. And he's going to be intercepted a third time. Picked off by Harrison Smith. And he will return this one to the 30-yard line. And out now come the Vikings. And last time, the fumble to turnover. Now they still have the lead, but I don't think coaches care. The turnovers will bother them no matter what the scoreboard says.
And that's the relief that you still have the lead. But coaches look at what if and what it should be. Turning the ball over when they've got a chance to score more points and increase the lead, that's what's going to affect them.
And they're also thinking to future weeks, maybe when the game's closer, right?
No doubt about it. You want to clean up everything. Let's just be honest about it. They want everything to be perfect at all times. They don't want to give up anything that's going to hurt their team.
Play action for Peterson. Now here's Bradford. And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. Cordero Patterson, 30 yards. And the Vikings capitalize on the short field as they take it in for 6. And the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21 points. Forbath to send it away now following the touchdown. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And last year that would have been a net gain of 5 on the return. This year he stopped where he would have been if he had taken a knee. And that's at the 25. And Detroit getting set to go now. And following the interception, we'll see what they can put together on this drive.
I can hear my old college coach right now. He always used to tell us before every game, the team making the fewest mistakes will win.
The Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the 4th quarter. Now it's Stafford. And the reception made over the middle. This is Bolden. A nice pickup there, 19 yards. And they're set up better for 3rd.
I know we just saw a nice throwing catch, but how about the big guys up front buying that time? Yeah, that's exactly what they did. They created time and allowed the space to happen, and it turned into a really nice play.
A dump off for Abdullah. And he will have first down yardage as he's brought down at the 41.
There are a lot of tough routes to try and cover. When you see a runner come out of the backfield and run this angle route, looks like they're going to the flat, and then they put their foot in the ground and cut back sharply inside. Not easily covered, and then when they catch it,
it's caught inside the 25. They get 39 yards out of that one. And it'll be first down Detroit. Oh, even after all those interceptions, he's not deterred, still confident to go deep at work there.
I think all the old rules about playing that position still apply. If things go wrong, you still act like you're the best player out on the field. You still carry that supreme arrogance with you and continue to fire the ball. I've seen guys have games like this, and this is where you find out if you're great or not. Can you overcome some interceptions and still lead your team to victory?
Stafford looks to throw again. Oh, he had 6 points in his hands there. Couldn't hang on. Second down. Second down following the incompletion.
We know it's not an easy job to go out and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away. But the bottom line is...
Oh, a hit. He lost the football. Stafford taking it right down Broadway. And the Vikings pick up the football. The 30. this one back. It's a fumble return, a scoop and score for the Vikings. And give some kudos to the defensive coordinator, I think, here. They bring the blitz, they dial it up, and it turns into 6 points for them.
It's so nice to hear you actually give kudos to the defense. It is so nice. You're such an offensive guy like that. I love it. He dialed things up, and boy, a big play resulted for his guys.
Well, you like the credit to the defense there, right, my friend?
Yeah, do I ever?
And you can bet they're preaching two hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. This is fielded a couple yards deep. They'll bring it back to just about the 25, call it the 24-yard line. Now the Lions offense, they get ready to head back out there. Possible run anticipation here as the D-line sandwiches together. Caught right side, Tate. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line.
Slant route's effective no matter who's running the route and catching the ball. But when you have a receiver of that stature, you have to be a little bit more precise throwing it. You don't have the same catch radius with the bigger targets.
Back to throw, Stafford. He'll rifle this one deep right side. And this is caught inside the 5. A big play there for Detroit. 55 yards.
They went for the haymaker there, didn't they? A big shot towards the end zone, and they came up with the catch, but they were tackled short of the goal line. The defense escaped the big one there. Now they've got to try and hold them to a field goal attempt.
And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be second down.
Well, we're not playing 3 yards in a cloud of dust football anymore. I kind of get why those old school coaches sometimes didn't want to throw the football. Because if it's popped up in the air, it almost turns into slow motion, and both sides.
And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Detroit. Golden Tate, his second touchdown of the afternoon. And the Lions are able to cut into this lead. He has his 2 scores, but still a sizable deficit in this game.
Do you have him in fantasy football this week?
Unfortunately, no.
It's too bad, right? That would have been big points, but he is really trying to rally his team as best he can. Things are not going as well the rest of the way for them. That's why they're down. With this deficit, he might need to score a couple of more times to give them a chance.
So after the touchdown, Martin now on to kick this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And the decision to bring it out, a good one, as he's up a yard or 2 shy of the 30. And now out comes Minnesota. And they were able to punch it in the end zone last time. They'll be looking to do that again here for the defense. Obviously, they'll be looking to stop them from punching it back in the end zone.
It always is punch, counter punch, isn't it? And which team has the advantage? Well, let's just go back. Last time on offense, they rolled downfield, got into a good rhythm. You can see a little more bounce in and out of the huddle. You can see the sideline really get into the game. So defensively, you're thinking to yourself, how do we take that away from them? How do we get the advantage back? Let's see what they come up with. I think pressure is always the first way to go.
You love pressure.
I love it.
We'll see if they dial it up this drive. Here we go with 2nd and 7. Time for a break. We'll come back and wrap up garbage time after this.
Here we go now. Green, 39.
They run again with Peterson. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. A good pickup there at 22.
You got to feel a little bit for the defense there. They've done a terrific job all day long holding this guy in check. But that might have been the run to break things out for him, maybe turn things around. Now he's going to have some confidence, and maybe he'll get to his normal yardage.
Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he's brought down. 11 yards on the pickup, and it'll be a Minnesota first down. And the offense lining up 1st and 10. And with that last play, he's now up over that 300-yard mark.
And in today's NFL, it almost feels routine. And I hate that when you talk about a 300-yard passing game. To me, 300 yards still signifies excellence, and he's achieved that in this performance. Frustrating for a defense, energizing for an offense. Finding a way to create that type of yardage in your running game, that'll make the guys carrying the ball very, very happy.
Again, Peterson. It'll only be a gain of a yard, and it sets up a 3rd down and 4 now.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things, but the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
Touchdown, Vikings! Jarek McCammon, 30 yards, and the Vikings are going to add on to their lead.
And to me, that touchdown allows you to start grinning widely on your sideline. I think they pretty much locked this one away.
Yeah, that's the clincher, the proverbial icing on the cake, if you will. Forbath to send it away now following the touchdown. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. So out now come the Lions. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride?
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once we were down.
And that's caught inside the 30. Touchdown, Detroit. Marvin Jones, 76 yards. And the Lions are able to draw a bit closer.
And yeah, that touchdown counts for their team, but I think it counts more for the fantasy guys, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's just something maybe positive to look at on film, but this one's over, let's be honest.
Yeah, I agree with you totally on that one.
Stafford's going to try and throw for it. And he's got it for the 2-point conversion. So they tack on a pair more here to narrow that deficit a bit further. So it would no doubt be a miracle comeback from here, but let's see what they can do starting with the onside kick. Oh, did the Lions get it? Yes, they recover. So the onside kick is recovered. And, you know, I always thought, Charles, as someone who didn't play these positions, that going over the middle as a receiver or trying to recover an onside kick, those are two very tough things to do.
It takes a lot of fortitude to put yourself in that position, but you have to do it in order to help your team win.
Unable to recover it, it costs him. The kicking team gets the football here. And the pressure gets to him and brings him down. Stafford is sacked. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. That'll leave them with just one remaining in this 4th quarter of play. To throw on 2nd down is Stafford. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And at the 7-yard line, the catch is made. Touchdown, Detroit. Golden Tate, 67 yards. And the Lions are able to cut into this lead. Well, yes, that's his 3rd touchdown catch, which is very impressive, but on the scoreboard, they're still struggling.
So safe to say that without him, my goodness, yikes, they are in major league trouble. He's doing his best to try and keep them in the game.
So time definitely not in their favor, down 2 scores, but they'll try the onside kick. And this is going to be recovered by the hands team. And that should just about put a capper on this one. They knew they needed a miracle. They had to have that onside kick. They didn't get it.
Well, as we knew, even before they put the toe to the leather on that one, their chances of getting that done, slim and none. And I do believe we saw Slim just leave the door, didn't we?
We did indeed. I think we're down to none. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Not a big run on the first play of the drive, but that doesn't necessarily mean it was a bad play. Sometimes you're just trying to settle in, get your guys a little bit of contact, and get things moving.
Bradford, he's going to launch this thing way downfield. And this will be caught. Well, forget taking the knee. Some late gamesmanship here as they throw for a late touchdown. They were still throwing with a comfortable lead here late, and now that lead even more comfortable.
And your first thought is there bad blood that went into this one ahead of time, that maybe they're seeking some revenge or they just don't like them? But the other thing that always hits me is, are they worried about playoff positioning? Right? Are they worried about, do you need enough points in case there's a tiebreaker that comes into play later?
And if you lose this one, In the way that they did with all these points, the offense probably goes in the film room and said, hey, coach, don't point at us. The defense, they're the ones that need the help.
Yeah, the offense went into the film room with kind of grins on their faces because they're going to get a lot of check marks and attaboys. The defensive team, they shuffled into the film room. Not a fun day for them.
That'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our hardworking crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, find us on Twitter at EA Madden NFL. It's a win for the Vikings as we say so long from Minneapolis.